We're going to be starting here your 60-lap, 15-kilometer race. There will be points attributed to the top 4 riders every 10 laps, 5 for first, 3 for second, 2 for third, and 1 for fourth. If you lap the field, you get 20 points. If the field laps you, you lose 20 points. Alors, messieurs, c'est 60 tours, 15 km, des points bonification à tous les 10 tours, 5, 3, 2, 1. Si vous doublez le peloton, c'est 20 points. Si vous êtes doublé par le peloton, c'est moins 20 points. Stay together, gentlemen. Don't forget, this is a neutralized start. The race does not start till you hear the pistol. Vous devez rester ensemble, messieurs, sur la première boucle. Dès que vous entendez le coup de pistolet, la course débute. So once again, everybody, just be aware that there will be a pistol fired, so don't freak out. It's just our way to start the race. Alors, soyez au courant qu'il va y avoir un coup de pistolet dans quelques instants, and it's a loud one. So group together. Here we go. Race is on. 60 laps, 60 tours. So some of the riders deciding to move to the front. Once, as you saw in the women's race, there's going to be a lot of movement during this one. And a bigger group here. We have 22 athletes on the track right now. So some riders from TAG, some riders from Cannondale. Now Midweek Cycling Club member at the front. So showing it now as they'll come around. 56 laps to go, so 6 laps away from our first intermediate sprint. It's an event, a mass start like this is where you really have to pay attention to your surroundings, your environment, as there's a lot of handlebars and wheels involved in this one. And once we get into sprinting, there's very little space to maneuver, and right there, diving down for Callisto. Kelly Liberty right there. Or sorry, that's it. Yes. So we are getting ready. Is that Liberty or? No, it's 2:25. Serena-Zouk. And he's put some distance now. Philippe Gélinas qui réagit from Amos. He moves off the front slightly here, but he's being chased down by the rest of the group. We're a good contingent. 3 laps away from our first intermediate sprint. À 3 tours, notre premier sprint intermédiaire. Ethan Sitlington now, leading the pack out. And he'll move away from one of the Cannondale riders. And that is 2:24, Base Wagner, as he moves off to let Dalterio, but Dalterio not staying on the front very long. He wants to get ready to make some points here in the sprint. Sprint for points on the next lap. Sprint pour des points au prochain tour. So this is going to be a close one, as we saw. Aiden Zarazanuk, is he going to be able to fend off? No, as coming by there, We'll have Pickrell, yes, picking up 5 points here. And we'll get to the details officially. So this race is on, my friends, with our first intermediate sprint. 50 laps to go, or actually 49 now. So here we go. Riley Pickrell, 5.5 points. Eric Inkster, 3 points, 3 points. Tyler Davies, 2 points. And Aiden Zeversanuk, 1 point, 1 point. That's our tally after our first sprint. Thing you need to do also on these longer races is really manage your output. Sometimes we'll see riders go out on a breakaway and never recuperate and get lapped by the field, and that costs them 20 points. And showing the colors of Callisto once again now is at number 217 here, Daniel Nordeman da Silva. He's been joined by 2 other riders, 03 and 20, Justin Correa and Ethan Sitlington. Now a little group, and the peloton, the main group, not liking that at all. They're really putting the pedal to the metal now to make sure that the trio off the front does not stay away, and especially for the upcoming sprint, and now less than 2 laps. Sprint for points on the next lap. A sprint for points on the next lap. And coming up over the top there. Looking like a rider from NCCH. Yep, it will be here, and this is going to be another close one, as hard to say if that was Pickrell. And they have not let up, so this is a smart move once again. Because just as the peloton sprints, they tend to taper off, and sometimes it's a good moment to make your move, and that's what Cindy Flagel-Bray has done with Pickrell. But Dalteriou now driving the peloton, the main group, back into contention. So still Flagel-Bray and Pickrell in the lead. So here are the results from our second intermediate sprint. Pickrell 5-5, Flagel-Bray 3-3, Justin Correa 2-2, and Daniel Nordeman da Silva 1-1. So our tally after 2 intermediate sprints, Riley Pickrell has 10 points, 10 points. Cindy Flagel-Bray 3-3, Eric Inkster 3-3, Justin Correa 2-2, Tyler Davies 2-2, and Nordeman da Silva 1-1. 125 meters is the lead for these young men. Some riders have fallen off the back, so as long as they're not, they'll be lapped here by our leaders, but as long as they're not lapped by the pack, they don't lose any points, but the pack is coming very fast. As we have 35 laps to go, 35 tours. 34 laps to go. A very interesting race right now, very aggressive as we have two riders in a breakaway. And just a reminder for bib at number 224. 224, you're not allowed to engage with the leaders. Pace Wagner, you're not allowed to draft here with the leaders. Wagner, move off the wheel, please. Unfortunately, Wagner being a lap rider, he is not allowed to take advantage of the leaders. And right now, on his own, in the lead, still number 208, Sidney Flagel-Bret. And Pickrell has gone back into the main group. Sprint for points on the next lap. This is going to be a good move for Sidney Flagel-Bret if he can keep it up. Sprint for points on the next lap, gentlemen. So it's going to be 5 points right there for Sidney Flagel-Bret, who will pick up the precious 3 points. 217 picking up some more points. 3, that is Daniel Noordeman da Silva. And we'll split the other points up very soon as we get our official tally here. So 29 laps to go in this Canadian U17 Points Race Championship. So here we go. Sidney Flagel-Bret picking up 5 points, 5 points. Daniel Noordeman da Silva, 3 points, 12 points. Antoine Dalterio, 2 points. And Dawson McDonald, 1 point, 1 point. So our tally after 3 intermediate sprints, Riley Pickrell, 10 points, 10 points. Sidney Flagel-Bret, 8 points, 8 points. Daniel Noordeman da Silva, 4 points, 4 points. Justin Correa, 2 points, 2 points. Antoine Dalterio, 2 points, 2 points. Tyler Davies, 2 points, 2 points. And Dawson McDonald, 1 point, 1 point. With 27 laps to go. The group now being led by Axel Froner as he peers over his shoulder, trying to close in. But as you can see, the peloton is stretched out in a single file. That's a sign that the speeds are kind of high right now. Well, and it's a good time for Flagel-Bret to make his move because the peloton is going to, the group is going to start to taper off its effort and prepare for the upcoming sprint in 4 laps. And this is going to be a very big reward if this can materialize here. As yes, right there, that's going to be a payday for Sidney Flagel-Bret. And on top of it, the sprint is going to start. Now these guys are going to let things happen out front as Flagel-Bret will sit back as he picked up 20 points. He now leads with 28 points. But there's going to be some points right here behind as, I think Pickrell just snipped it at the line there. So we'll see the new standings with 20 laps to go. 20 tours à faire. And now for Flagel-Bret, the good thing for him is he can just kind of sit back right now and profit from the draft of the group. But now looking like Domingue taking off. Yep, Domingue right there with Nordeman da Silva, but he sits up. Oh, yeah, really, things have really tapered off. So here we go. Our latest standings. Riley Pickrell picked up a 5-5. Justin Correa picked up a 2-2. Daniel Nordeman da Silva, Oliver Campbell picked up 3-3. And 1-1 for Jake Jensen. Our latest tally, Sidney Flageolbret is leading with 28 points, 28 points. Riley Pickrell, 15-15. Justin Correa, 4-4. Daniel Nordeman da Silva, 4-4. Oliver Campbell, 3-3. Dalterio Davies, both with 2 points due. Jensen and McDonald with 1. And we have 16 laps to go. And another attack off the front from one of the NCCH riders. And he will sit up there. It'll be a 2:02 Giuseppe Caron. And now sending out some firing shots is Domingue, but he's followed by his teammate Dalterio. Alors les deux Québécois maintenant qui commencent à se manifester à 5 tours de notre prochain sprint intermédiaire. Est-ce que le groupe va réagir? Ils sont en compagnie du 217. C'est Daniel Nordeman da Silva qui est présentement ex-aequo 3e. Dalterio. Been a long day for these gentlemen with pursuits, then the sprints, and now into this 60-lap race with 13 more to go. 13 tours encore à faire. And you can start to read the pain and the fatigue on their faces. Now, another attack here by one of the NCCH riders, Ronan Johnson, number 214. Domingue taking another kick at the can here with Pickrell. Alors, Domingue qui s'essaie encore. And sprint for points coming up here once again. Another rider from NCCH will be picking up the 5 points. 214 picking up the 5 points right there, Ronan Johnson. So just your attention, please. Sidney Flageolbret, warning for riding on the blue band. Warning for riding on the blue band, Sidney Flageolbret. So 2:16 in the lead right now. Dawson McDonald with his teammate and leader. So here we go with the latest points. Ronan Johnson picking up 5-5. Riley Pickrell 3-3. Dawson McDonald 2-2. And Sidney Flageolbret 1-1. Sidney Flageolbret is leading right now with 29-29. Riley Pickrell has 18-18. Ronan Johnson 5-5. Correa and Nordeman da Silva have 4-4. Campbell and McDonald 3-3. Dalterio and Davies 2 apiece. And Jake Jensen with 1-1. And moving back to the front now, bib number 201. Oliver Campbell wearing 201. The leader of the race doing his fair share of work here. Sometimes riders will have a tendency to kind of sit back in the peloton and enjoy the ride a bit, but not as for Sidney Flageolbret. He's showing his colors as race leader. Once again, he has 29 points, which is 11 better than Riley Pickrell. And there is, once again, one more sprint left, so he, for all intents and purposes, would be our winner here today. Still 4 laps to go. 4 tours à faire. Be a good day here in the points race for NCCH as Caitlin Rollarda picked up at the U17 women's race, and now her teammate Sydney Flajol-Lebret is about to replicate what she did, and he's still off the front there with 3 laps to go wearing the orange helmet. Now Antoine Delterium qui va tenter d'améliorer son sort, lui qui est présentement au 6e rang avec 3 points with 30 points. 2 laps to go, 2 tours à faire, and Pickrell now taking off. Also for him, for all intents and purposes, he is going to finish second here today. And there's the bell, final lap, última vuelta, dernier tour. So once again, Pickrell will pick up some points. He will not win this race. It'll be the orange helmet at the back, but still going for points will be Pickrell. He'll be picking up, will it be 5? Yes, 5 for him. There'll be 3 points in the mix for bib number 203, Justin Correa. But more importantly, your winner today, unofficially, will be Sydney Flajol-Lebret from NCCH with 20. We'll be seeing in a few months 29 points, because I don't think he was in the mix there for the final points. Wearing the orange helmet right there, Sydney Flajol-Lebret, your unofficial winner here on the day. So 5 points for Danielle Noordermans de Silva, 5 points. Cody Liberty, 3 points, 12 points. Axel Froner, 2 points, and 1 point for Riley Pickrell. So our unofficial standings will be Sydney Flajol-Lebret with 29 points and winner of the race, followed by Riley Pickrell with 19, and Danielle Noordermans de Silva rounds out the top 3 with 9. Or Commissar Mike Pinkowski is a Commissar extraordinaire, and also he can clean your house for a very small sum. He also bike washes also. So just a moment, folks. We're just sorting out a medical issue with one of our athletes, and we will be back into racing very soon. Once again, thank you to everybody watching online, as this is webcasted on YouTube, and we do have people from all over the country watching, and thank you for tuning in and watching. Merci à ceux et celles qui nous regardent via le web, et on espère que vous appréciez le spectacle. So we're just going to need another 5 minutes. We'll let the ladies roll here. Give time for our athlete over here to take care of her medical issue, and we'll be back racing. There we go. Our athlete is back, and we're going to get ready for our start. So, ladies, once again, this is your points race. It's going to be 60 laps, 15 kilometers every 10 laps. Points are awarded for the bonus sprints, 5, 3, 2, and 1. If you lap the field, it's 20 points. If you are lapped, it's minus 20. On y va, mesdemoiselles. C'est parti. Des sprints au 10 tours, 5, 3, 2 et 1. Et si vous doublez le peloton, c'est un 20 points. Si le peloton vous double, c'est moins 20. Stay together, ladies. And once you hear the pistol fire, once again, for those of you that startle easily, plug your ears as the pistol should fire in a few moments. Alors, pour ceux et celles qui font des sauts, des sursauts, attention, le pistolet va résonner dans quelques instants. Here we go. 60 laps of racing in this, the junior women's points race of these Canadian Track Cycling Championships. And making the move right away on the bottom is Maggie Coles-Lister. And you can bet your money that that's going to provoke and definitely taunt the field to react. Only one athlete has followed her. We are 7 laps away from our first intermediate sprint. Marie-Alexandre Lemire, la seule à vraiment contrer cette accélération de Maggie Coles-Lister. Mais le peloton revient. The group is coming back on them. And we're all back together. Athletes will try that. They'll test the field, see who's into it, who's interested in winning here, which should be every single woman involved. 13 riders in this junior women's points race. Working at the front, number 113, Holly Simonson from Cycling BC. Comes from Victoria on the island. Also good to see athletes from many provinces here that are taking part in these younger age categories. Shows that the development and the talent pool is there. And we are coming up to our first intermediate sprint, as we are showing here on the board. 53 laps to go, 3 laps out, 3 tours dans notre premier sprint intermédiaire. Two laps away from our first intermediate sprint. And as you can see, the peloton, the group are really picking up the pace now. As people are trying to position themselves for the sprint. Some of the best sprinters already off the front. Sprint for points on the next lap. Sprint pour des points au prochain tour. Atwell leading out Maggie Cole-Lister on to the outside, looking to be Naomi D'Souza also right in the mix there. Alberta's rider, number 105, Devaney Collier, also in the mix, and we'll find out very soon what the tally is here after this first intermediate sprint. 50 laps to go. Now a move being made once again by one of the members of NCCH. And it will be number 112, Hillary Lowry, Ancaster. So riders early in this race testing the strength of the peloton here, and once again, they're going to reel back this breakaway attempt. Also in that lead group is number 114, Ali Van Eisendorn. Holly Simonson now making her way to the front as we are 6 laps away from our next intermediate sprint. À 6 tours de notre prochain sprint intermédiaire. Everybody ramping things up oh so slowly as we are 5 laps from our next sprint. Showing now 4 to go. And now the speed very, very fast at the front as you see the group all stretched out in that single fine line. Undeniable sign that the speed is high. Van Eisendorn checking out where Cole-Lister is situated at this point. Moving back to the front, Aaron Atwell. As you can see, the sprinters moving in, but now a nice move here at the bottom. Is it once again Hillary Lowry from NCCH? Yes, number 112. And that's going to force the group to really start to move with Maggie Cole-Lister, Devaney Collier, Hartwell also in there, Atwell, I'm sorry, in there, and D'Souza. And there'll be a sprint for points on the next lap. Sprint pour des points prochain tour. Sprint for points on the next lap. Cole-Lister, Collier, Atwell, and D'Souza. And that should be the order. So we'll see after the second intermediate sprint what the standings will be here. And now 2 riders also trying to go off the front again. Hillary Lowry and also in that group, Holly Simonson. Sorry, that's not Hillary Lowry. That's Amelia Bell with Simonson. And now the pack coming in with D'Souza leading this group. So here's our tally at the last sprint. It was Collier picking up 5-5. Coles Lister 3-3, Atwell 2, and D'Souza 1-1. Our tally after 2 sprints: Maggie Cole Lister 8-8, Devaney Collier 7-7, Aaron Atwell 5-5, and Naomi D'Souza 2-2. So Atwell now starting to make her move as she's taken off the front, trying to hunt down the 2 breakaway artists as we are coming up to 4, or just under 4, to our next sprint. Now there are, and then there were 3 at the front. As once again, Bell, Atwell, and Simonson driving to the attack now is bib number 114. That's Ali Van Eisendorn. Maggie Coles Lister once again making her way back to the front as we're coming up to our next sprint. Sprint for points on the next lap. Sprint pour des points au prochain tour. So they reeled the breakaway attempt, but now Atwell, Maggie Coles Lister, Simonson still fighting in there. And we'll see, it'll be Coles Lister, Atwell, Collier also, and Simonson should be in that order for 5, 3, 2, and 1 points. Van Eisendorn now leading this attempt again at putting some distance between themselves and the main group. Joining them are 103 also, Catherine Bergeron, Ali Van Eisendorn, and also in that lead group is number 115, Ruby West from Dundas. So here is right now our breakaway. With, right up there, Hillary Lowry, Ruby West, Ali Van Eisendorn et Catherine Bergeron, si je ne m'abuse, du Québec. And we are 3 laps away from our next intermediate sprint. So our tally right now, just a reminder, 13 points, 13 points for Maggie Coles-Lister, 9.9 points for Devaney Collier, 8 points, 8 points for Aaron J. Atwell, 2 points, 2 points for Naomi D'Souza, and 1 point, 1 point for Holly Simonson. But here we are, next lap, there'll be a sprint for points. Il y a des points disponibles au prochain tour. So here goes the sprint. At the front, so it'll be 5 for Van Eisendorn. Bergeron, 3, 3. 2 for West, 2, and 1 for Lowry, 1 point. So Devaney Collier now thought that she could maybe make her way back to bridge, but unfortunately no, and nobody's reacting right now, oddly enough, as she sits in second place, only 4 points behind Coles-Lister. So we'll get our latest tally very soon for you here. So 5 points, 5 points for Ali Van Eisendorn, 3.3 points pour Catherine Bergeron, 2 points, 2 points for Ruby West, and Hillary Lowry at 1 point, 1 point. So our new tally, not much change. Coles-Lister, 13, 13, Collier, 9, 9, Atwell, 8, 8, Bergeron, 3, 3, D'Souza, 2, 2, Ruby West, 2, 2, and Lowry and Simonson with 1 point. Some riders are in the negative as they've been lapped. Just under 17 laps to go for our leaders. Still are 4 in this front group, not necessarily the leaders of the race. The leader of the race is the young lady in green and black, Maggie Coles-Lister. She has 13 points to the 9 points of Devaney Collier, who's in the same group as her, actually right on her wheel right now. "15 laps to go, case 2. And as you can see, Collier just sitting for a while there on the wheel of Maggie Coles-Lister, the young lady that she is trying to surpass in this points race. 14 to go, 14 à faire. Well, the gap now is starting to fade as now Naomi D'Souza takes things in her own hands with Maggie Coles-Lister. And we are coming up here. In 2 laps, we'll have our next intermediate sprint. À 2 tours du prochain sprint intermédiaire. Sprint for points on the next lap. Sprint pour des points au prochain tour. And now these ladies, knowing that there are no points available for them in the main pack, as the 5, 3, 2, and 1 points will go to these 4 ladies here. And it looks like it's going to be Van Eisendorn with 5, 4 for Lowry, 2 pour Bergeron, and 1 for Ruby West. So we'll see if that sticks with our officials. 10 laps to go, 10 tours à faire. So 5 points, 5 points for Van Eisendorn, 3 points, 12 points for Lowry, 2 points for Bergeron, 1 point for Ruby West. Our new standing still Maggie Coles-Lister, 13, 13. Devaney Collier, 9, 9. Aaron J. Atwell, 8, 8. Catherine Bergeron, 5-5. Hillary Lowry, 4-4. Ruby West, 3-3. Naomi D'Souza, 2-2. And Holly Simonson, 1-1. And now Coles Lister wanting to seal the deal here as she has a 4-point priority on the lady leading the main group right now, Devaney Collier. But with this move, she's pretty much going to put a dent in any plan Devaney Collier had of winning this one today, as she's now about a quarter of a lap up on the main group. And now Maggie Coles Lister with 5 laps to go. Not only leader in the points, but leader on the track. Another title for this young woman, showing her talents over the last couple of years here on the track. It's very strong in Burnaby a couple of years ago. Great performance last October here, and now on her way to pick up another Canadian jersey and medal here in Milton this evening. Coming down to 3 laps, 3 tours à faire. Two laps to go for Maggie Coles Lister. And behind, we'll see if there's a battle here between Devaney Collier and Erin J. Atwell. Only 1 point separates them in the hunt for second place. Last lap, the dernier tour, Ultima Vuelta here for our riders tonight in this junior women's points race. And she will bring this one to a close just like she started, very, very strong. So we'll have our points race winner and a leader, Maggie Coles Lister. And the sprint for second place, and that'll be a good move for Erin Atwell, as she'll pick up 3 points, moving her to 12 points. And for Devaney Collier, unfortunately, she will drop to 3rd in the overall standings. And we'll wait for the unofficial results in a few moments. Yep, a good race by these young ladies, and we're just waiting for the final tally here. So 5 points, 5 points for Maggie Coles Lister. Atwell picking up 3-3, Collier 2-1, Van Eisendorn 1 up. Final tally, Maggie Coles Lister ends up with 18 points. Right now we're going to have to divide up between Erin Atwell and Devaney Collier, as they both sit at 11. And then after that, we have Catherine Bergeron avec 5. Hillary Lowry 4-4, Ruby West 3-3, Naomi D'Souza 2-2, and Holly Simonson 1. So we're slated now to have our 17 riders in this junior men's 80-lap, 20-kilometer points race. We'll have at the blue line Adam Atwell, Eloy Batista, Gabriel Drapos-Goralski, Cameron Fitzmaurice, Jordan Jones, Luke Logan, Josh Schenker, John Stewart, and John Wilcox. And up at the railing, Eric Bartolomeo. In Curry, Chris Ernst, Tristan Guillemette, Alain Lefebvre, Félix Pelletier, Josh Smith, and Lucas Taylor. Gentlemen, once again, this will be an 80-lap race. Points at every 10 laps, 5, 3, 2, and 1. If you lap the field, it's 20 points. If you are lapped by the field, it's minus 20. Rider with the most points at the end of the event wins. Alors, messieurs, c'est 80 tours pour un total de 20 km. Des points de bonification à tous les 10 tours. C'est 5, 3, 2 et 1. Si vous réussissez à doubler le peloton ou le groupe principal, c'est 20 points. Si vous êtes doublé par le groupe principal, c'est moins 20. There we go. Once again, we remind riders you must stay together on the first lap. or until you hear the pistol fire. Alors, encore une fois, on vous rappelle, messieurs, vous devez rester ensemble. Un groupe homogène jusqu'à temps que vous entendez le pistolet. So once again, just be aware, folks, there's going to be a pistol firing soon. Il y aura un pistolet qui va se faire entendre dans quelques instants. Oh, here we go. Off for 80 laps, 80 tours pour les messieurs juniors. Here we are on our quest for gold here in this the junior men's points race. And taking off is number 7, Chris Ernst from Callisto, and the boys from NCCH gaining some composure here behind with Eric Bartolomeo. And also with him at number 16, Josh Smith. Coming up to 4 laps from our first intermediate sprint. Two away from this first intermediate sprint with Cameron Fitzmaurice leading the group. Right on his tail is Jordan Jones. But this is where it's going to start to motor here as the bell will ring. Sprint for points on the next lap. Un sprint pour des points au prochain tour. And coming to the line, we will have, looking to be picking up the 5 first points, Cameron Fitzmaurice will wait for the confirmation. So here we go, 5 points, 5 points for Cameron Fitzmaurice. Jordan Jones, 3 points, 3 points. Lucas Taylor with 2, 2, and Eloy Batista, 1, 1. Well, some of the riders trying to give themselves some space. With right up there, we saw taking off was Lucas Taylor. Also joining him, Josh Smith and Gabriel Drapeau-Zgoralski. And now the group has tapered off slightly. Now right there at the front, leading the group, Felix Pelletier. Now moving over back to Adam Atwell, wearing number 2, yes. 4, or I should say 3 more laps before our next sprint, à 3 tours de notre prochain sprint intermédiaire. Donc le numéro 16 maintenant prend la tête, Josh Smith moving off to the front with Ian Curry in tail there. Yes, that's number 5, it is him, but now the group is sprinting up once again. We are starting to ramp up, making some room, some leeway for our next intermediate sprint, which will be happening in 2 laps. And there's the bell indicating that this is the final lap, dernier tour, before we hit the sprints. And our sprinters are off the front right now, looking to drive it to the line. And oh, I don't know. Very close there as we saw Jordan Jones try to push the bike over the line. And we'll wait for the tally here. That was very close. Cinq 5 for Jordan Jones, 2 for Batista. Wilcox picking up 3, 3, and 1 for Schenker. So our standings after 2 sprints, 8 points, 8 points pour Jones, 5 points, 5 points pour Fitzmaurice. Batista 3, 3, Wilcox 3, 3, Taylor 2, 2, and Schenker 1, 1. So fractioning happening once again here within the group. Felix Pelletier moving off the front now. Atwell and Fitzmaurice leading the group. As we are now looking at 53 laps to go, 53 tours à faire. Est-ce que Pelletier va pouvoir résister ici et disputer le prochain sprint alors que le peloton s'amène à toute vitesse? Sprint for points on the next lap. Un sprint pour des points au prochain tour. Here we come. It's going to be a tight one and looking to be like number 6 picking up some points. It was number 9. That's Tristan Guillemette qui va chercher de précieux points. Chris Ernst également. And we'll see here in a moment what the tally is. On va voir le nouveau classement après ce 3e sprint. 5 for Tristan Guillemette, 3-3 for Chris Ernst, 2 for Eloy Batista, and 1-1 for Jordan Jones. Our new tally after 3 sprints: Jordan Jones 9-9, Eloy Batista, Cameron Fitzmaurice, and Tristan Guillemette 5-5, Chris Ernst and Wilcox 3-3, Taylor 2-2, and Schenker 1-1. And now there's a big split in the group. And the group being led there by number 4, Eloy Batista. Now letting his place go to Lucas Taylor. So a very close race. This is any man's race with now 45 laps to go. And now a lot of movement in the main group here. This is going to be an interesting one. West to be expected with some very strong riders right from the onset, putting a lot of pain onto the others. And right up there, a very strong group. Let's see if they're going to be able to keep up this momentum with now 43 laps to go. Your race leader in that group, Jordan Jones, so is Eloy Batista and Cameron Fitzmaurice. They now have let up, but not wanting to have anything to do with letting up right now is Lucas Taylor's. The other boys seem to have said, well, we'll let them come back to us, but maybe Taylor's move right now has created a bit of anxiety within this lead group, so Taylor's just going to motor off. Sprint for points on the next lap. So there are 6 riders in the lead group, followed by 8, and a few lap riders in no man's land. The sprint is going to happen right there, and it'll be Fitzmaurice, followed by Jones, picking up some points too. I think Chris Ernst and Eloy Batista should be our rider completing the group, and we'll follow that in a few moments as the officials will officialize. So this is our lead group right there, in which we have our lead riders in the standings also. With just under 38 laps to go in this junior men's points race. So the top placed rider last year in this race was Jordan Jones. The 4 gentlemen who finished first have all moved on into the U23 category. Well, this race is definitely not over, as we're coming down to 34 laps to go, 34 tours à faire. Cette accélération maintenant de Tristan Guillemette. Aucune contre-attaque pour l'instant, pour dire. Et là, ça s'active derrière. Tout d'un coup, there is some motion all of a sudden. And it will be A major move here by Fitzmaurice, which will bring the group back onto him. Now Eloy Batista trying something with that. Fitzmaurice right there with him, as there'll be a sprint for points on the next lap. Also there, race leader Jones in the orange helmet. And these guys are just going to move away alors que Gabriel Raposo-Goralski tente de se démarquer ici au sein du peloton du groupe principal. Pas grand marge de manœuvre, mais il a cherché des points. So it looks to be Fitzmaurice for 5. Jones for 3, Raposo-Goralski pour 2, and Batista looking to pick up 1. But we'll see. Let the officials sort that out, and we'll have our next tally very soon with now just under 30 laps to go. So here we go. Fitzmaurice 5, 5 Jordan Jones 3, Batista 1, and Raposo-Goralski 2. Our new tally tie between Fitzmaurice and Jones at 15-15. Batista with 7-7. Tied with 5 is Ernst et Guillemette avec 5. Wilcox 3-3. Raposo-Goralski and Taylor 2-2. Van Kep, 24 laps now for this group of the Junior Men's Canadian Championship points race. Still in the lead, tied, I should say, for the lead are Fitzmaurice and Jones at 15 points, 15 points. Eloy Batista holding on to third right now with 7. But Ernst and Guillemette very close, and a lot of traffic out on the track there. As we are showing 22 laps to go, 22 tours à faire. Very, very aggressive and fast racing here. Sprint for points on the next lap. Sprint for points on the next lap. And off goes Ernst, Raposo-Goralski, Fitzmaurice. Can Jones get through there? He's a bit boxed in for points. That'll be Fitzmaurice, very close there between Ernst and Raposo-Goralski. And the pace is not let up. Riders still trying to carry that fast pace after the sprint. I'll have our new tally soon. Fitzmaurice 5, 5, Ernst 3, Raposo-Goralski 2, Wilcox 1. Our new tally right now, notre nouveau classement, 20 for Fitzmaurice, 15 for Jones, Ernst 8-8. Batista 7-7. Guillemette 5-5. Drapeau Zgorowski, Wilcox 4. And at 2, we have Taylor at 2. And another breakaway attempt here with the riders number 20, Lucas Taylor, and 13, Félix Pelletier, le numéro 13 pour l'équipe du Québec.
Et attention, heads up. Riders up, riders up. There's been a crash, riders up, please. Yep, just heads up, riders. There are a few riders down here, so stay over the red line. Thank you.
So right there, Pelletier, toujours en tête avec Taylor, still in the lead. And the main group right there. And watch out here, we'll have, as our leaders come by, Pelletier and Taylor. There's the bell for sprint for points on the next lap. Sprint for points. Sprint pour des points au prochain tour. Things really getting worked up here as Chris Ernst taking off to try to get the 2 points. So it's going to be very close here between Pelletier and Taylor. Definitely picking up some points there was Ernst. Now we need to sort it out and see how many points that was. Still the head of the race here, 13 and 20, toujours la tête de course. Yes, Brave Warriors back on course. Watch out, another rider going down there. Un autre coureur au sol. So 5.5 points for Lucas Taylor, 12.3 points pour Félix Pelletier, 2.2 points for Chris Ernst, and 1 point pour Cameron Fitzmaurice. Here is our new standings. Cameron Fitzmaurice. Just reminding number 16 here, Josh Smith, to join the main pack. That's it, Josh. Oh, here are the standings. Voici le nouveau classement. 21-21 for Fitzmaurice. Ernst 10-10. Batista and Taylor at 7-7. Guillemette 5-5. Drapeau Zgorowski, Wilcox at 4-4. Et Pelletier à 3. With under 5 laps to go here, moins de 5 tours à faire. And still leading the group, Lucas Taylor, Cameron Fitzmaurice, and Félix Pelletier. But Fitzmaurice, number 8 there, by hanging out at the front, he's pretty much sealed the deal to be the points race winner. Number 8 in the green and black of Tag Race team. Don't forget for our sprinters to get ready here. And we're going to get ready here for the finale as our athletes sprinting and motoring towards the end. With one lap to go, dernier tour, Ultima Vuelta, and a lot of movement here behind as John Wilcox speeds up with Gabriel Drapos-Goralski. But it's going to be Cameron Fitzmaurice who's going to seal the deal with 5 more points and win this junior men's points race here today in Milton. So unofficially, your Canadian champ in the junior points race, Cameron Fitzmaurice, with 21 points. 10 points go to, unofficially right now, to Chris Ernst, but don't forget, we will be tallying onto that the final sprint, so that will go up. For Fitzmaurice, will be something more around the area of 26 points. So coming up soon will be our U17 women's sprint race for ranks 5, 6, 7, and 8. Alors, félicitations, messieurs. Good race, gentlemen. Alors, ce sera bientôt la course du sprint féminin chez les cadettes pour les rangs 5, 6, 7 et 8. So we're going to have to take a slight break here, folks, as we have to take care of a little track repair following that crash, so it won't be very long before we get underway again. Alors, petite réparation nécessaire sur la piste probablement et on va reprendre très bientôt.